probably closer to 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a bit
So a few
closer.
hours have passed since.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no, it was-
no.
From the time the fire was in the distance was at about 4:30.
Okay,
when I
so
was
only
down the
around
tip.
half.
Yeah,
But then by
yeah.
5:30, the convection was going up,
Yeah.
and then at about 6 o'clock, I went down to the fire station, and by then the convection was very close to town, and things were starting to get noisy and hectic, and the fire siren had gone off a couple of times and then was continuously going.
I can't even remember hearing it.
I walked into the control room, and there's poor girls that were trying to operate the radios and the phones, and they were just freaking out because there were guys getting calls to come home because the house was on fire. They were spotting. They were trying to get onto trucks to go out and do their job. The fire captain was literally getting in the back of a Land Cruiser with a couple of blokes to go and help someone because someone was trapped in their house.
But he called on the radio to find out if we could get out.
I said, I've got 61 people at Karami Gardens. Which way do you want us? Which way can we get out? He got on the radio. He spoke to someone. He got back to me, and he looked me in the eye and he said, "Get them to Alex now. Go. Don't waste time."
Yeah.
And in that same breath, he looked at me and he said, "You're wasting time."
Well,
Yeah.
we basically, luckily I'd printed maps before the power went off, thinking people won't remember how to get to Alexandra, and we literally checked them off the list, and we said, go. We said, don't stop, don't look behind, this turn, don't look behind you, don't stop, whatever you do.
So
keep
were you guys
moving.
grasping how furious?
Do you know how calm they were?
Oh, really?
We were so proud of our guests. They never panicked. No one got angry at us. They were all so good.
When I initially rounded them up, I said,
Yeah.
"There's no need to panic.
Yeah.
Please go back and pack your bags.
Not one of them was
Get in
hysterical.
your car
or,
and come down to the office, and we'll
Yeah,
keep you
they
informed."
just did
I said,
everything else.
if for any reason you are going to leave,
You must
you
tell us.
must tell us.
Yeah.
There was a couple who their car on the Friday had broken down, so they were there without a car. We arranged to give them. We found the keys to the work ute,
Yeah.
And we gave
and we
that to
gave
them.
that to them.
Yeah.
And,
They could get out.
and literally the convection was getting close to the back of town. As I was giving them the keys to the ute, they were putting their stuff in the back, trying to be methodic and not rush.
Yeah.
But literally
Pushing.
as he was starting up the ute and going, I was saying, "Please go now."
Yeah.
You
I can
couldn't
tell
see
you
them.
now in Marysville, the trucks were everywhere they could be, and vehicles. And in the midst of this, when I went to pick up Stephanie, there was the wind was so strong. There were trees falling down that never got burnt. There was a tree fell down in the main street and landed on a lady's car. And in the middle of the fire approaching on town, there was the SES.
The ambulance rescued her out of her car. But see, nobody knew it was that close. It's all surreal. Because we sort of basically quickly grabbed things and we locked up the doors.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, really, when you think about it, isn't it? And we suddenly realised we don't think we can get out now. It's too late. So we went down we started to drive down to the Oval.
We knew all the townsfolk because I'd been going back and forth, and I could see a crowd assembling on the middle of the Oval. And
So
we
we-
thought, if we're going to be accounted for, we need to go where
It
there's
was an
everyone
open
else.
area. We went down there, and as we got closer to there, the Marylands Resort, which is as you're driving towards the Oval, is up on the right. That was already on fire.
Okay.
We saw our friends coming out of the Oval, and the look on one particular friend is always calm. She's always
She's
calm.
the head of housekeeping.
Yeah, she's calm, and she said, never forget the look on her face. You've got to get to Alex now, quick. So we did a U-turn. By the time we did got in the queue, we were sort of almost one of the last vehicles. As we drove sort of down the main street, I suppose I'd remained calm the whole time, but then I started to really lose it. I can remember my hands shaking and started to sort of cry, and I could hardly see straight, and the roar that we could hear was like a jet taking off, and there were intermittent crashes as gas bottles exploded and trees fell. And my daughter, who turns 17 in a couple of weeks' time, she was just so calm. And she said, Mum, pull yourself together. Mum, you've got to drive us out of this. I can't drive, Mum. You have to drive. You have to get us out, Mum. And she kept, she kept me calm. I'm normally one of those people, I like to drive in front.
Yeah.
I was so pleased to be looking because all I focused on was the back of the four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I just tried not to look. I
But-
just tried because I was already losing it.
Because the way the wind was blowing, it was blowing the fire past the town,
Yeah.
and we thought it was going to miss the town.
Yeah.
But then the wind changed, and so for a period of probably 5 to 10 minutes, the town wasn't necessarily engulfed in low-lying smoke. It wasn't thick and hard to see through like a fog.
Yeah.
Because the wind had just changed, and because of this convection, it was carrying the smoke straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I've discovered later on that we actually just drove out of town that the actual the ash cloud sort of engulfed the town.
So envious of the fact that we didn't get a town meeting to discuss
Yeah.
the oncoming fire. There was no time for that. It was get out now. And can I please also add that there were people that their bushfire plan was to leave.
Yeah.
They didn't get that chance.
Apparently when we left there were only 18 people made at the Oval.
They didn't get a chance to get
There
out.
were people that were sheltering, they thought they were safe. There were people where the fire had gone past, they thought they were okay, and then the wind turned around. Someone left the Cumberland to go and check their house, and when they came back, the Cumberland and their family were in there alight. It's...
It wasn't a normal fire, you hear of people saying, and Richard's always taught me, shelter in your house, soon as you hear the fire go over, get out. No. Houses were exploding.
Yeah.
This was like a nuclear bomb going off. There was no sheltering. You couldn't shelter it.
No.
There was no slow burn. Do you want to go on, Dom? Go on. There was no slow burn. It was just...
Yeah.
There was a guy stopped his ute to get his dog out of the back.
The back
And he
trailer.
never got back into the cabin. It came through that fast. And this is the thing that keeps going back in my mind. We got everyone out. 15 minutes I raced around making sure everyone was out. Jill was packing the car and we finally left. And I looked over at the neighbour's house and I couldn't see any movement. There was a car there but I couldn't see any movement. I thought surely they've gone. And as I said, my biggest fear was trees coming down and blocking us getting down into town, and I couldn't bear to see Jill and the kids drive out of sight. And I keep thinking I should have gone over and checked. Then I kept telling myself, at the time we drove down to the Oval, we're told turn around and go out, and drove out, and we were the last couple of cars to get out before it engulfed the town. Even 5 minutes to race across the road and tell them get out, get out.
It might have been too late.
It might have been too late for me.
Yeah.
Richard has great difficulty coming to terms with that.
We got 61 people out, but it still wasn't enough.